He's with us for eternity, and of course he will choose the time that we should join him. And so I described him as being somebody that liked to hunt, to fish. He liked to go through the stores with fishing equipment and hunting equipment. He was well known because he's fully equipped to be a hunter and a fisherman. And since the age of 5, he already had a hunting breaker. And he always brought back deer. We had the opportunity of tasting an awful lot of game. He even went duck hunting, and we always availed ourselves of the results of his hunting. So I have tremendously good memories of this. 2 days before his death, each and every time we would hang up, he'd say, "Mom, never forget how much I love you." And that's, please forgive me, I think that somewhere I will get the strength to live through this sorrow. There's an awful lot yet to come. I think now that as a mother, I've taken the shock. It certainly wasn't easy on the evening when I got the telephone call from the policewoman, because I had a glimmer of hope at one point that he wasn't dead. So when I came home, because I was trying to get in touch with him, I didn't have my cell phone with me, so at 9:30 in the evening when I came back home, my daughter called me to say, "Mom, did you hear the news as to what happened? Did you receive a phone call?" And I said, "No, I just got home." So I had a message from his wife using her cell phone, telling me that I was to call her back. So I called her back. She was at the hospital, and I felt that amongst the 3 deceased, there were 2 that were perhaps in the going through surgery. I thought they were in the operating room. I just thought that he had been injured. He called Cynthia's sister, so I had this glimmer of hope. But when the policewoman called me and said, "Mrs. Rousseau, have you heard tell what happened?" She identified herself as a member of the RCMP. I said, yes. My son is still in the operating room. I'm waiting for news. I was told that he was in the operating room. So she said, "No, Mrs. Rousseau, we did not relocate your son yet." And so I said, "Well, what's going on?" I was just told that he was at the hospital, that he was in surgery, because they were trying to remove the bullets. And the policewoman said, no, we haven't been able to locate him. So, I was aghast. And she said, "I'll call you back as soon as I have news of having located him." About an hour later, and the heart of a mother was telling me that he had already left. Just by receiving the call by this policewoman, my mother's heart gave me the feeling that it was already ended. And not too much later, about an hour later approximately, I took a coffee while waiting, because it's very long it seems awfully long when you're waiting for the telephone call. And in my thinking, I said I knew that he had gone, but I was saying to myself when the policewoman called, maybe he's in the gutter, maybe he's seeking help, maybe he's in the woods, maybe he's just trying to get somewhere. But as soon as the policewoman called me back, my mother's, the heart of a mother told me that no, he had died. My spouse spoke, and because I just had the feeling that all had ended. Indeed, he took the phone call, and it was the policewoman from the RCMP, and I told Francois, "Well, yes, it has ended." And he looked at me and said, "Yes, it has ended." So my heart had told me the truth. He died. He's a hero. That's how I consider he is. And I'm very proud of my son. I have an awful lot of sadness for his wife and the 1.5-year-old granddaughter. It's going to be difficult. These children won't remember, of course. They will have not had the opportunity of knowing their father. And, of course, my son's wife is expecting a second child. So I'm sure that we're going to be together with this, brothers, sisters, Dave's brothers and sisters, because he would have wanted us to go on with life and to live with much love amongst ourselves and to keep God in our lives and to be able, therefore, to celebrate birthdays and everything, to never forget him, to keep good memories, because God only knows we have a lot of good memories. We really have good memories of him. And I'm here and I know that he's looking down upon us from up there because that's where he is. And that's our consolation now. God is in his life. He accepted his fate. And that's a big, big burden removed in the hearts of parents, knowing that all has ended. We're going to continue to live amongst ourselves with much love. Thank you so much. I think Olivier will speak now. Well, I'm Dave's brother. We were raised together, even though there's an age difference amongst us. He taught me how to hunt when I was tiny. He taught me an awful lot. And Dave was someone who loved nature. He loved animals. He succeeded in everything he did in life. I was proud of him. He was my idol. He always looked after me. He always was concerned about me. In very difficult circumstances. It's not because he's gone now that he's not going to continue to watch over me. He will continue to watch over me. He always wanted to be a dog trainer, and he followed on his dream. He died in what he loved the most. I don't think he would have wanted to have died in any other way. That's what he wanted. He did everything for his country, and he took a bullet from someone he didn't even know. For his family, he would have done anything. He's a support. I would have so many things to say, but emotion being what it is, I am having difficulty. Thanks so much for your support. Greetings. I'm Dave's sister. This is a great burden, but I think we're going to live through it. What I can tell you is that I'm very proud of my brother. We were all very close, in spite of the age difference. We were always very close one another. I'm in mourning because he always was successful in going further. He always set goals that he was able to reach. In his life as an RCMP member and then to be the dog trainer. So it was fantastic for him. He had a good life in the RCMP. We have so many things to say, indeed. We don't know where to begin. But I'm going through a lot within me. I find it difficult within me, but on the other hand, I know that he's in heaven because we're all believers. We were raised with Christian values. So what consoles me, as my mother just explained to you a moment ago, I know my brother is in heaven. He's looking down upon us, and he's saying, stop crying for me. I'm up there. I'm very well. And he's just waiting for us all to join him one fine day. So there's my consolation. What's difficult is that we are, of course, human beings, and we have emotions. God gave us emotions to live through. We have to live through them. I think that's okay. And that's what we have to do. I'm not crying now, but in a few moments I'm sure that tears will pour out. I have good memories of Dave. As my brother just said, my brother was very young when he started hunting and fishing. My father taught him, and when I was age 12, I even started hunting, and so I saw and learned an awful lot through him. He brought back to the house all kinds of animals. My God, beavers, ducks, deer. Really, we were members of these clubs, and we know any kind of bird species. This is going to continue. He was the one that showed me how to clean a gun. I mean, I don't remember now, but he showed me all this, and he taught me how to hunt. So yes, I really have very good memories. We will survive. We will get over this. I thank you all for your support. And by way of conclusion, to prove how proud I was of him, I don't think there's nobody in my surroundings that wasn't aware of the fact that he was in New Brunswick, that he was a member of the RCMP, and that he was a dog trainer. I mean, everywhere I went, my colleagues spoke to me of my brother, and all knew of my brother. So thanks so much for your support, and thank you for your prayers. And even more so, please pray for us and for Dave's wife. We have to support her. He was a good father, and it was important for him. He brought a lot because he was present there. In spite of long working hours, he was always with his family. He looked after housework. He looked after the landscaping. He played with his young son. What's the saddest part is that he will not know his second child because his wife is pregnant now, but we know that he'll see this second child from up above. So thanks again. Thanks so much. Are there any other members? My name is Amélie. I'm the half-sister. I considered him my real brother. He's our big brother. For us, he was a model. We were so proud of him for everything he did in his life and what he had achieved and where he was at. As Cynthia was saying, we were telling everybody that Dave was a member of the RCMP, was a dog trainer. He was doing the kind of work that he always wanted to do. We're convinced today that that was the case. We said a moment ago that Dave died to protect others, and we can't be otherwise than proud of him. We know that the province of Quebec is supporting us. Thank you for all those who have sent messages. You are behind us. You're supporting us. Thank you so much. Is there anybody else that might want to speak? François or anybody else? Well, hi, greetings everyone. I'm Dave's half-brother. Cynthia and Dave and I, and my other brother, Stéphanie, my sister, we were all raised together. And very often, Stéphanie and Patrick aren't here today, but if Dave were to still be here, I would have perhaps a last word to tell him. You have been a source of inspiration for me, and the best brother that you could hope to have. You always inspired me by all the decisions you ever reached. As Olivier just said a moment ago, I want to follow in his footsteps. I want to be inspired by him. So, anyway, Dave was so devoted in anything he took. He had shiny eyes every time he spoke about his work. He was devoted to his family. He was an exemplary human being. But Hélène said, yeah, he's up there and he looks upon us. I'm so proud of my brother. The consolation I have is that we'll live through eternity with them. Let's keep the faith we have in the Lord. Of course, it's a dramatic thing. Dave is gone. We're all going to leave someday. So to anyone that is listening to me now, God is alive. I've been attending church for the past 7 years, and it's unthinkable for me to not regret what I'm doing, because he gave me strength. The darker it may become, the brighter it will become when brightness comes. We aren't alone in life. Everybody goes through sorrow. Hang on to him, because he is very much alive, and he's very much giving us hope and courage. So I'm so proud of my brother. If I had one last word to tell him, is say, the example you showed, everything you did for me, everything you did and all your choices, I'm so proud of you. Thank you. François, thank you. Well, in the name of the family, and in my own name, I want to thank all the individuals who have sent messages of support, of sympathy. I can assure you that these are being received, and it gives them another dose of energy, and I can assure that we will be with you to the very end. Our deepest sympathy. As I understand, you teach English? No, but I don't have the strength now to speak in English. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm still teaching English, of course, but so I'll say thank you.
We're going to need your prayers, and that's all I can say. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have you spoken with Gabe's wife? How is she doing?
Well, I just spoke to her. She just sent me a texto last night to her. She was telling me on her texto that the baby was okay, because I was worried about her pregnancy, So, but everything's fine. She's okay. She's very strong, and just need a lot of prayers, and that will gonna help her.
Donc, est-ce que les questions,
Are there any other questions in English? Are there questions in French now? A few questions, and then we would ask you all to respect the wish of the family to live through a period of mourning amongst themselves. Could you give us a little bit of an idea now? Let's start with Yannick. You said that you were going to follow in the footsteps of your brother. Is it still in your plans? Yes, that was the part of my choice. I like animals, and I like the police forces and what they do. It happened to him, and he's my hero, and he will always be my hero. Nothing will change. My name is Olivier Junot. Did you go to Moncton since the accident? No, we went to Moncton last Easter. We spent the Easter holidays with them. We were supposed to go back. Yes, there's going to be a moving. We are in a moving period now. We were supposed to go and spend a week with them. That had been planned. Are you going to now anticipate this? Because, of course, you are going to have to go sooner because of the funeral. Any other questions? Now that the individual has been arrested and that he's going to appear before the courts, do you have anything against this individual? How do you feel about this individual? Well, the only thing I can say, as I mentioned just a moment ago, is that I'm happy that he was arrested, because there could have been other victims. But I think that life has shown me, and will show many people, that we have to learn to forgive in spite of this drama, this tragedy. Justice will look after him. That's all I can say. You had a conversation with your son about 2 days ago. What did you talk about? Do you remember? Well, we were speaking about the plans for our new house, and he was saying, "Gee, Mom, I'm anxious to go and see your new home and to get pictures of your new home because the house is being built now. We'll be moving eventually." But we talked about the house and his child, his work. Yeah, a little bit of everything. We'd just like to have a little bit of an idea as to the ceremony to be held. I can't give you any details. We haven't reached that point yet. But his wife is well. We're going to support her. We have to be strong for her, of course, and in that she is pregnant, of course, we want to be with her. As soon as all the plans have been made, I'm sure that we'll be spending time with her. Would you please allow the others to say a few words on this? He left home at about, what, age 19 or what?
No.
When did he leave? Well, he went to Ottawa to study, probably some 20 years. He was also in the army, in the militia. It's a very long course. He graduated, of course, in Regina, Saskatchewan, and he got his policeman's badge, and that was a very impressive ceremony. So he was in the force for 7 years.
The only thing I can say that they got married 4 years ago, and they got married my son's the same day that it was my son's birthday, so the May 22nd, and it was a very happy couple, and they wanted to have 4 children, and he was a good father, she was a good mom, and that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
So when you talk about him, how do you describe your son, and how does it make you feel?
Like I said, he was a happy man. He really liked his job, and that's all I can say. Yeah, he's my hero, and I'm very proud of him. He's looked at me actually, and
when you found out that news, what went through your mind?
what do you mean, like?
When you found out that he'd been killed,
Yeah.
what went through your mind?
Well, I guess the only thing I can say, he's happy, he's with God now, so that's the only thing I can say.
He was a man of God, right? Yeah. Il y a quelqu'un.
C'est la dernière, monsieur. Pardon, j'ai pas compris votre...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Oui,
Well,
on prie pour eux aussi parce que
we
je
also
sais que ça
pray
va
for
être
them, I know,
facile,
because
et,
it's not going to be easy for the others.
tous les rencontrer,
We'll be meeting with
facile
them.
pour personne.
It's not easy for any one of us. I don't know how. We are all different. We're all different human beings. We're going to live through this differently. But we pray for them, and we're praying that they have the courage to cope with this. And we support them wholeheartedly. I want to thank you all being present. I want to repeat to you the support and the sympathy that is extended to you. And I would ask the media to relay this message just for everybody in Canada or in Quebec, that we just have a vigil, all of us together, by turning on our lights in the honor of those heroes, because Dave is part of those heroes. And I think as a last word, there'll be a last word from his sister. I wanted to add, yes, Dave died today, But Dave died. I mean, we can't say that he died in a good way, but he died in what he liked to do. So we should bear that in mind to help us cope. I don't know if we can say that, but it's kind of a nice death in a way, because we heard tell that he did not suffer. He died in doing what he liked to do. He spoke to us, and he was always very enthusiastic, and his eyes were just all fired up, and he would speak about all the training, his dog training duties, and how much he liked to be with the animals. Thank you to all the members of the family, and thank you for your courage. Thank you for being here. Thank you, each one of you. A little bit of